Finding a great marketing agency has led many roofing contractors to get duped. Kind of like the first date experience from Tinder or Facebook picture, and you're like, oh yeah. And then the person that shows up and you're like, whoa, that is not the same person. And that's the experience that many of us have had with digital marketing agencies. So that's why I put together this video to teach you a 9-step vetting process and the exact questions to ask to help you sniff out the garbage and then find the diamond in the rough that can truly help get you leads and develop your brand. My name is Adam Bensman, and I'm really excited to be jumping into this video. Listen, this is going to be a bit of a headier video than I normally do, which is why I built a PDF for you to download, and you can actually print this out and follow along. It's in my free training platform. So go ahead, click the link in the description or go to adamsfreestuff.com, get access to my training platform, and you'll see it in there. It's called the Marketing Agency Vetting Checklist. I actually have it pulled up on the screen behind me so I can make sure to walk through these with you one at a time. Now let's get started. All right, as we go through this checklist, during this video, I'm going to be highlighting a few of the main points, but when you download the checklist, there's even more exact follow-up questions for you to ask, because that way you're prepared when you meet with agency owners. I know that this might be a little different than the content you're used to from me, but I've become really clear on who I am in the roofing industry and who I work best with. And that's the folks inside RSRA, a community of people that are thinking differently and challenging the status quo. We really pride ourselves on that. So we can solve complex problems day to day together in our private app, and then find better ways to grow our companies in today's fast changing and somewhat unpredictable times. If you want to learn more about us and how we work, and maybe if you're a right fit, then you can click the link in the description. But let's get started on this checklist, starting with section number 1. And that is the industry experience test. And when you work with agencies, you're going to see that a lot of agencies, they find out that roofing is really lucrative. It's like the wedding industry. So like, oh, I did really good in e-commerce and in B2B. Let's target roofers because they too will have like the course to grow an agency. And they're like, find a niche, find one that can spend a lot of money. Roofing's a great one. So these folks come in and they don't realize the nuances of running digital marketing for roofing. Things like seasonality, where again, the northern markets and southern markets are different, but we all experience seasonality when kids leave school, when kids go back to school, Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Thanksgiving. There's these peel backs before and after, and then end of year surges, beginning year surges, and all of this has to do with how they're managing your spend. So you want to ask them questions like, hey, who have you worked with in the last 3 months, and what type of results did you deliver? Can you give me a reference of someone that I can call? Now, if they can't name clients or they're vague with results, and if you ask, hey, how long have you been in the roofing industry, and they're brand new, these are the signs that it's generally best to run for the hills. Section 2, the local market knowledge test. Hey, roofing is different in market to market. If you're in Dallas, if you're in Orlando or Denver or Minneapolis or Los Angeles, or even in Boise, the markets are different and there's a bit of a pulse to them. So you want to ask questions like, hey, what's the typical cost per lead for roofing in my city? If they give you national averages, run for the hills. Because if you're competing in Dallas, Texas, your costs are going to be so much higher than if you're in Boise, Idaho, which is a far less competitive and far less saturated market. The next thing you want to know, what is the cost per click in my market that you've achieved? All right. Who are my top 3 to 5 competitors, and how is seasonality going to impact my campaigns? As I mentioned before, working with an agency that knows roofing will understand those seasonal swings to help provide guidance both on your deploying of your budget, which is your hard-earned money, as well as the different content or marketing messaging that they can pair with those seasonal swings, whether it's seasonal offers or promotions or using urgency to get people to take action before the snow flies. Section 3, the team and communication test. Listen, you've seen maybe in other videos I've done, and if not, I'll tell you now, that a lot of agencies will hire offshore talent. Now, there's nothing wrong with offshore talent, but it's important to know who they're hiring, why, and for what type of work. Because this is a true story. We had a member in RSRA ask about a digital marketing agency that they were about to hire. And in RSRA, because it is a private and exclusive app and everyone has signed a mutual non-disclosure agreement, it's a safe place to ask these questions, unlike the traditional social media groups where someone will say, hey, anyone, work with this agency? And then people may not want to be honest because they know that that agency is also in that group. And then their inbox gets exploded with people trying to sell them stuff. It doesn't happen in our community. So we'll have folks share openly and honestly what they like, what they didn't like. And we've saved a lot of members a boatload of money who were going to hire an agency and then heard the red flags and then didn't. And the post literally comes like, about to hire this agency, what do you think? And again, we help shut it down before it's too late. So what happened in this one instance, this was actually during one of our leadership roundtables, a member asked about an agency. And guess what? One of our other members found out that that agency was outsourcing their labor to the exact same firm that he was hiring his VAs from. In other words, that would be like hiring your own roof subs through another roofer. Like, it was insane. And you don't want to experience that. So here's the questions to ask. One, who is my account manager and can I meet them? Because often the figurehead of the marketing agency is great at what they do, but you don't know about the people running the accounts. Number two, how many accounts do they manage? Number three, where is your team located? If they say overseas, you want to ask follow-up questions. What type of responsibility does the overseas team have? Now, if it's lower level work, that's just fine, but you don't want to be hiring the strategic driver or campaign architect overseas because you could just do that on your own. All right. And then what's going to happen if my account manager leaves? Because I've also heard those horror stories where someone hires an agency, the account manager is great, they leave because there can be high churn in these agencies, and then the new person that gets plugged in, everything just falls apart. So be really clear on where their team is at, how they communicate, and how, again, another question, how quickly do you respond? If they say, hey, as soon as we can, say, I'd like a timeline. Or like as soon as you can, a week? Or is it same day, or is it 3 days? This will give you a clear idea of what it will be like working with them and what type of talent they have behind the scenes that you don't see. Section number 4 is on technology and ownership. And this is a big one. This is how agencies will often handcuff you. They'll say, hey, we're going to set up your landing pages and your website and create all of your accounts, anything from social media to Google AdWords. But then you go to leave and it's in the itty bitty fine print that says, oh, well, we own everything. And if you leave, you lose access. Again, I've seen this come up inside the RSRA community where members have decided to do what I call become the GC or general contractor of their marketing, where they may not do it all, but they have the vision in mind that turns into the plans so they can hire the right people, keep it on track, figure out when it goes off course or something breaks or it goes off budget or out of budget. This is why, again, like a general contractor is going to be able to manage it all. And that's why it's so important for the owner of the company to know all of this so they don't find out too late. Like, oh, I leave and I lose everything. So ask, what tools do you use? Do I have login information? What happens when I leave? Do I maintain ownership in what happens to my data? And can I see anything I want anytime I want? It is a massive red flag if an agency keeps you at arm's length and says things like, we own all the pages, we own all the data, we own the logins, and we'll give you the reporting, which is going to lead me into that here in just a second. Now, right before we get into reporting, and that's an important one, I want to hit on section 5, which is on contracts. Contracts and pricing terms are so important to know. Do they have contracts? Are there performance guarantees? What happens with you when you leave? And what are the hidden fees? Section 6 is probably my favorite one, and that is reporting. What metrics do you report on? Because vanity metrics, oh my gosh, agencies often know that many people that hire them don't know a lot about marketing. So they'll share what I call vanity metrics, meaning things that look good but do nothing. They're like, oh, look, we got you all these impressions, but impressions do not matter. You can literally get, like I've watched people like, oh, I made a video on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and it went viral. We loved it. And I've even had people share this in our community. They're kitschy, they're cute, they're fun. But guess what? They don't create leads. What you need is metrics that matter. So what do you report on? Can I see a sample report? Okay. Do you do a call tracking? Do you record the calls? Do I have access to that? And if you can't see a sample report and actually make sense of it, of why it's important, and they can't explain how it makes you money, run for the hills. Section 7 is on pricing. I know we touched contract before, but this goes a little bit deeper. You want to understand what happens if you're not happy in 90 days, if there's a setup fee, how much is the management fee? And here's a couple ones. What do you suggest is a minimum ad spend specifically for your market? Because oftentimes agencies will have a minimum, and let's say it's $3,000 to $5,000, but they say, and you only have a $7,000 budget and you can only spend $2,000 a month. Now look at that. Like, look how disproportionate the impact of the money you're investing. If you're only putting in $2,000 a month, but you're spending $5,000 with them, you're so diluted that your results are going to be minuscule. So instead, you might want to learn either how to run this stuff in-house or find a different agency where you can allocate more of your budget towards your actual ad spend. You're also going to want to know what happens when you scale up. You know, we've got members that are spending $50, $60 to over $100,000 per month, and some agencies are trying to charge a percentage of ad spend. I've even seen up to 20%. So it's like you're spending $100,000 and you want to spend $20,000 with them just to manage it. To me, that just seems disproportionate, because as the budget increases that much, there's some work that becomes, I don't know, less time consuming. Like in other words, $1,000 to $2,000 a month, the $2,000 budget isn't twice the work as a $1,000 budget, yet your fee is. So understand how all the fee schedule works, and if there are any performance guarantees, so you can walk away if they don't perform. Section 8 is the onboarding test. Walk me through step by step how it works for our first 4 weeks. This is the ultimate sniff test. If an agency is like, hey, we just get going, we do this, run for the hills. If they can't give you specific weekly breakdowns of the process, like step 1 is our onboarding call, step 2 is asset gathering, step 3 is account configuration, step 4 is budget allocation, step 5 is like research. Like, if they can't give you this list, then you know that they are absolutely full of it. You don't need to go any further. Everything else that you heard beforehand probably doesn't matter. Run for the hills. And this brings us to section number 9. Right before we get into it, I know we covered a lot, so if you haven't done it already, just download this free guide that'll accompany everything so you have the full list. It's in the link in the description. So number 9 is what I call the gut check. This is where afterwards, because there are smooth talkers in sales, you know that, you can ask yourself the questions. Did they seem knowledgeable? Yes or no? Did they answer all my questions clearly and accurately? Did they pressure me using this, like, oh, if you sign up today, we'll waive this. If you go in by the end of the month, we'll do this. Like any of those gimmicks to just earn your business. And then the final one is the ultimate gut check. Would you trust them with your budget, whether it's $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $80,000 a month, or $100,000 a month? And if you don't get a yes to everything on the gut check, well, it's probably best that you look for another agency. Thanks for joining me in this video. If you want to learn how to become the GC of your marketing, jump into this playlist, because you're going to learn a whole lot of things to get you running circles around the agency that you're going to hire next.